What's up, everybody? Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Kart Smart TV. And we're going to be working on an old school Yamaha. I think G2 through G9 is what this body style is. Lady that dropped it off said that I think her son or something like that had tried to see what was going on with it. And at this point, pretty much every time you turn it on, it wants to turn over by itself. Not crank and fire up and run, but just sits there and turns over. So she did say that she thought that they had bypassed the start-stop switch, which is basically the first place I'm going to go and test the switch first to make sure that it is operating like it's supposed to. And then we're going to go to the key switch, make sure that that is operating as it's supposed to. And then we'll go to the solenoid and make sure that that's operating as it's supposed to. Of course, you're going to make sure you got battery voltage before you do anything else. Make sure you got 12 volts. Then you can come up here and test the switch. Then you test the key switch. Then you test the solenoid. Alright guys, when you want to check the foot switch, the start-stop switch in the Yamaha, you can pull this plate out of your way. That's right here. Covers this area up. Alright, you can see the stop switch is right there. Right there. You'll have two wires come out, brown and red with a white tracer on it. Does not matter which wire you put your probe into, because you're going to put it on your continuity setting. That little Wi-Fi symbol right there is what you want to see, because that's what it looks like. It's the Wi-Fi symbol. You'll see it light up on your meter as well. Alright, and so once you got it there, got your probes on your wires, you're going to push your pedal and listen for the tone. So I did that multiple times just to make sure that there wasn't some kind of weird intermittent issue here. And so that's sounding off good multiple times, 5 I believe it was. Know your switch is good at that point. So I've got to go in here and wire this back up properly, because they wired it straight through for some reason, but it's all good. We're gonna make it right, get this thing fixed up, make this system operate as it's supposed to first. Alright guys, so a little combination of problem here is the reason why this cart wouldn't turn over properly and do its operation on the foot pedal, obviously because they had that wired straight together. They wired the red and the brown together, did away with or basically just bypassed the foot switch. And then I have found that my key switch is no good either. I've got it in, again, continuity mode. You can see that it's got continuity, or trying to show continuity, but I've got no sound whatsoever coming through. That's it. That's how you determine whether you got a foot switch problem or a key switch problem. Once you know your battery voltage is good, you do the same test with the foot switch first, the continuity switch, or the continuity test on the switch. Then you come to the key switch, you do the same operation through the same two colors. So you have your brown and red right there. You just run a continuity between them. You should get continuity, especially when you cut the key switch on, because it jumps to the other side too to open up the circuit basically. My key switch is in the on position right now, and you heard that well, you didn't hear anything because it wasn't doing anything, but I went on to put a new switch in here. And you can see the engine is turning over. I got the seat closed. It's one of those one-piece seat jammies. So yeah, key switch and it being altered in the wiring is what the main problem with this is. But my battery's a little weak. I'm gonna put it on the charger here in a few minutes. But we now have engine rotation, so that's step 1 done. Step 2 is going to be finding out why it won't fire up. And so at that point, we're going to make sure that it's getting fire and it's getting fuel. get this battery charged up so it'll turn over a little easier and probably provide a lot higher voltage to the system, because sometimes that's as simple as that Yamahas get, is that there's just not enough battery voltage to make the wiring do its operation properly in the system. So it's not feeding 12 volts like it's supposed to, it's losing voltage somewhere in the system. So put that battery on charge if it's weak like this one. That's going to help you in the long run. Test spark, test fuel. Alright guys, so once I checked my spark, noticed it was a little dull. Also noticed that it had an auto light spark plug in it, and we have to remember that these things are Japanese built, so they're gonna run better off of like your Denso and your NGK brand type of spark plugs. So it's, I mean, it is doable. Put a brand new auto light in there, it should run for a while good, but most of the time they don't run very long well. Not sure if it's just because like the heat range or whatnot, but the NGK brand is definitely what we like to put back in. Also the Denso brand, they're a pretty good plug for these things as well. Got my battery charged, and at this point it's time to hit the pedal to see if we can get a run out of it. Hopefully it'll just fire right up. So it seems to be running pretty well, I might say. So thankfully, after finding out our battery voltage was good, and then running our test on our switch down here, making sure that the switch was still operating as it's supposed to, and then coming to find out that we had a bad key switch in this system, is the reason why the customer had the problem that she had, which was basically anytime they cut the key switch on, well, she said that she didn't feel like she was able to even cut it on, but we looked at the meter earlier and it was showing like it was trying to work, but it wasn't giving us any full-on connection. And then you can see where I did the test on the new switch, where it was just straight off. As soon as you cut the switch on, it was making contact as it's supposed to. So that was the real problem. It was just basically bypassing the switch, and as soon as you got it to come on, because she also mentioned that she had to kind of wiggle and jiggle the key to get it to make connection, so that was another key, and that's why we seen what we seen on the meter, because if she jiggled it, it probably did make a connection, and then the golf cart would just start turning over without doing anything else, like putting your foot on the pedal, because you only get it to start turning over once you activate the foot switch there, or the start stop switch on the pedal. So thankfully we got this fixed for her. It's going to be a nice little ride for her to just use around the house, because that's all she's doing with it. And keep it simple to start out with. Check all your basic things first before you decide that, okay, I have a major issue with the engine or the firing system or the ignition system. Appreciate you watching the video. Hopefully this will help somebody out there that could be possibly running into an issue with the Yamaha. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to give us a shout, give us a comment. I'm pretty sure the phone number to our business is on the channel somewhere. Feel free to give us a call. I will certainly try to answer the phone in a timely manner for you. Otherwise, leave us a comment. We will answer you back on the channel as well. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up, and don't forget that subscribe button, guys. Thank you all so much, and God bless you.